right, here with the infamous DJ Hat, watching his Spurs and Knicks tussle in the NBA Finals. How's that Chicho's pizza you got right there?
Delicious, always delicious.
How about Tony Brothers is officiating right now?
Right now, it's okay as long as the Spurs win.
Okay, you heard it, folks. There it is from DJ Hat, checking his messages.
No.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
How about my New York Knicks, ladies and gents? 2 games to love. What a job by my Knicks. Love to be the 757 Sports Talk.
You ain't rooted for the Knicks in years, and they're your
What are you talking about? I've been there from birth. Patrick Ewing, Bernard King, those days in the 80s when the great Hubie Brown with the perm was coaching them. I mean, come on, I go back and then a slickster, Pat Riley, and have lived through the lean years of guys like Magic Lamp, and others that have been toying for the Knicks. Jeremy Lin, I lived through Linsanity, and now it's going to be absolutely insanity and pandemonium inside MSG, Madison Square Garden, where you're going to need at least 6 figures to get a ticket within sight of the court coming up on Monday night as they try to dispatch the Spurs in a short series. They'll take a sweep. They'll take 5. They'll take 6. Go, New York. Go, New York. Go. How about my Knicks? With the coach, Ed Young, I am Matthew Hatfield. No, DJ Hat is not going to appear on this episode anymore. He is very, very upset. There might be shattered glass. There might be some broken items in his house over there in Norfolk, as he lives near Lake Taylor and Booker T. Washington high schools. We will talk a little high school later on in the program as it's spring sports time playoff action. We got some soccer, baseball, softball, those good things. But, Edward, you were wrong. What's new? As you said, the Spurs in 6, and unless they win 4 straight, which I guess is possible, I think you want to change your prediction as you shake your head.
Not going to happen. Guarantee it. They're not winning 4 straight. I had the Spurs in 6. I had the Spurs by 5 in the first game. Wrong. I had the Spurs by 6 in the second game. Wrong.
Loser. You're a loser.
So I'm going to pick the Spurs to win game 3 by 3.
You might be wrong again because you have to remember who's going to be in the building on Monday night. The crowd's going to go nuts. Might not be for me, but the crowd's going to go nuts.
Your illustrious president, Mr. Trump, that will be in the building. You always say your Knicks. Okay, how about your president?
Oh, don't throw that in my face. Don't throw that in my face. Hi, Caden, and others out there watching. Look, don't throw that in my face. But my Knicks, what a job by my Knicks as they beat the Spurs 105-104. They get the virtuoso performance again from Karl Anthony Towns. He gives them 21 points, 13 boards. They get 26 and 6 points, boards, and dimes from Mikal Bridges, one of the Villanova cats. They got a couple more in Jalen Brunson, the big shot maker, and Josh Hart, who battled through the foul trouble, was such a rebound menace in game number 1. And oh, by the way, Edward, they have erased 12-point and 14-point deficits in the first 2 games of the series. They've erased 4 double-figure deficits in these playoffs, the infamous one being game 1 at the Garden when they were dead and buried against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And here they are halfway home to a title. What a job. What execution. It looked like it was slipping away. And then the fabulous Frenchman known as Victor Wembanyama, Wemby. What happened to him down the stretch? He said things got blurry. I can relate because sometimes with you definitely make my eyes go blurry when I have to listen to some of your nonsense. So I can relate, and I do feel for the young 22-year-old phenom who is going to be the face of the league for many, many years to come.
He's not there yet, as we've all seen, and we wanted to hurry up and anoint him as the next greatest thing before LeBron even puts up his shoes.
Hold on. LeBron is great, but LeBron is no longer the best player in the sport, nor is Steph Curry.
Of this generation, he is.
That's fine. I'm not going to dispute that. But the face of the league, hold on, has generally been, as far as best player in the sport, probably since LeBron and Kevin Durant and Steph Curry were at their apex. I think we would all agree that they're not at their apex anymore, all 3 of those guys. They were part of the Olympic gold medal win for Team USA the last time in the Summer Olympics. It's probably been international guys. like Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Bucks, a.k.a. the Greek Freak, because as we did our spelling bee preview last week, Ed's not the best speller. Nikola Jokic, the Joker from the Nuggets, and Wemby, another name that's hard to spell, Wembanyama, all from different places, Greece and look, it's okay. Spurs fans, like my pops, your time will come again. You've had your time. But I will say this, and I was a little critical of Mike Brown, just a little teeny weeny bit back in the Hawks series when they were trailing 2-1. I think he and his staff have gotten the better of Mitch Johnson. I know they don't have Greg Popovich. He is the old sage, wise, wisdom guy they can turn to, much like Eric Spoelstra, young in his career, turned to Pat Riley with the Armani suit and the slick back hair when he was trying to get some tips and tricks to help Miami navigate its way to a championship. And he eventually did that, and he's one of the best coaches in the sport now. But, Ed, I would tell you that right now Mitch Johnson has not schemed up a lot of good things. You got to get a guy that big. People are talking about get him in the paint. Not only get him in the paint offensively, but have him in the paint defensively, because he's running all over the place trying to chase these Knicks shooters, and they've been blitzing Brunson. Brunson hasn't shot a great in the first 2 games. He came up clutch in the fourth quarter of game 1. But they're just all over the place. Why are you doubling Brunson, leaving Landry Shamet, who's been money from 3, and leaving Mikal Bridges, and leaving Miles McBride, and leaving these shooters to dominate? And there's been no answer for Cat. I just think, I know that it's been a 1-point game and it's been close, but it feels like it's bigger than a 2-0 lead for the Knicks, especially going back home in front of what's going to be a raucous, wild atmosphere on Monday night.
Yeah, I just think when people look at San Antonio defeating Oklahoma City, who was supposed to be going on a run of championships, and they didn't, another young team, now it's all confusion. At the beginning of the playoffs, I didn't see them. I saw the Knicks beating Atlanta, and that was it. To see
but
what
you thought they'd see the Celtics in the second round, correct? Not the Sixers.
Right. But to see them, the records they are setting, you can't just overlook it and say, well, they didn't play anybody. Can't say that.
Correct.
And I mean, it's dominating stats. It's not even
13. It's 13 straight wins now, isn't it? It's 13.
13 straight wins.
Yeah, 13 straight wins. Goodness.
They're outscoring people by like 280 points. It's what they have done. When you step back and look at it on paper, it's like you're thinking, is this the Laker team with Magic, or the Celtics with Bird, or whoever, San Antonio with Robinson? It's the Knicks. And you're going to say it's the Knicks with Jalen Brunson and they got some other guys. So it's not, and even Brunson, though I think now, is not a top 10 NBA super, but that kid can play. He's just money. And then everybody else does what us coaches always say. If you just play your role day in and day out, don't care who gets the credit, and go at it hard. Be amazed at what happens. And the Knicks are showing that. And I've completely changed, obviously. Knicks will win the title, just no matter how many games, because Spurs are not winning 4 in a row. And I don't think the Knicks are going to go into total collapse. I don't think they'll sweep the Spurs. But, I mean, even if they lose, if they win the Knicks, it's 3-0, go back to San Antonio. No, they play 2 in New York, right?
What's that?
There's 2 games in New York. So Spurs win one of those, which I think they will. They go back to San Antonio. Oh, they get the one in San Antonio. Now it's 3-2. Go back to the Garden. And I think that's game 6. That's where I think the Knicks will take it. But it's just watching what the Knicks are doing is amazing. Down, like you say, down 4 throughout the entire playoffs, double-digit deficits. And they're coming back against really, really good teams and win the damn game. It's amazing what they're doing. And if they win this title, which I think they will, well, you're going to have to start talking about them alongside some of those super NBA championship teams.
Clyde Frazier said that Brunson has Willis Reed's tenacity and his cool. It's pretty high praise right there for Clyde Frazier, one of the all-time Knicks greats. And listen, if Brunson wins this title, I know there's been a lot of debate. Is he the greatest Knick of all time? I still put ahead of him Reed, Frazier, and Patrick Ewing, who didn't win a championship. But I tell you what, he will be remembered and a legend, and he'll never have to buy a dinner again in New York. And he's still very young in his career, and there will be talks of back-to-back. I don't think they go back-to-back, like the Spurs can or could have. And still, it's still possible. Or OKC, the talk was, or even the Celtics and Nuggets talk, which they failed in that, and it's so hard to win back-to-back. But I will say this, though. I don't think the Spurs get swept. I think the Spurs get one in the Garden. I don't think they get two in the Garden. They get one. And I think it's going to be Game 3. And the reason I say that is I go back to just last season when they beat the Celtics with stunning comebacks from down double figures, I think 20-plus in both Games 1 and Game 2 on the road. And then Game 3, they got tattooed at home in front of a raucous atmosphere. And that'd be way crazier come Monday night. Celtics had a little pride like the Spurs have. Now, Spurs are younger, haven't been in that spot before. But I think it's going to be difficult for the Knicks to compress everything given where, it is in the situation, just how wild it's going to be. So I do think that will be a challenge in itself for them, coming up on Monday night. But Game 4, asking the Spurs to do it and do it again. And the Spurs will play a lot better. But here's the scary part, Ed. And this is why the Knicks could blow them out in one of those two games in the Garden. The Knicks have not played great or at their best, what we've seen at their best in the playoffs, in either of the first two games on the road. So they're capable of much more. Certainly Brunson's shooting it better. And I tell you when I thought the Spurs were a little bit in trouble. I thought they were going to be all right, up 14. They blow that lead. Then they get down and make a great heroic comeback where Wemby finally comes to life in the second half. But the first sign of concern to me was, as a coach, Mitch Johnson decided to go to the Mitchell Robinson, late in the first quarter with the lead. I thought it was a smidge of a knee-jerk panic reaction. Nick Nurse did that for the Sixers in round 2. But I didn't think it was necessary. I know what he's trying to do is break up the Knicks' rhythm, put him at the line. He's under 40% from the foul line, those type of things. But I just didn't think it was necessary. And it kind of psychologically might tell your guys, we have to do this and set a bad mindset and mood when you do something like that. So I just don't know if that's the way to go if you're him. But again, I think some of his strategy has been a little faulty in this series. They obviously have a wonderful future in front of them. I just didn't like some of the little things he's done and did through two games. And I do wonder, at the end of that game, obviously Wemby makes the mistaken error. In the back of my mind, if Popovich is coaching this team, I think it's even up at 1 going to the Garden. You're looking at a 6 or 7 game series, almost guaranteed. But he's not coaching the team. And it is Mitch Johnson's first rodeo, if you will. And Mike Brown, as much as I've criticized him, he's utilized the bench way better than Tom Thibodeau, number 1. And number 2, he's been on championship staffs before. And part of this run before, as the head coach of the Cavs, fell short. Golden State's bench with Steve Kerr. San Antonio's bench with Popovich. So he has been through this before. This isn't his first rodeo.
Yeah, Mike Brown's taking a lot of hits. Now Mitch Johnson's taking the hits. Heard one of these talking heads on the radio the other day said, if the Spurs get swept or only win one game, Mitch Johnson needs to be relieved of the coaching duties. I almost wrecked the car when I heard that. Some of the most idiotic statements some of the young talking heads come up with. The man just got hired. He ain't going nowhere. He's done a good job with a young team. And, yeah, you can sit back, as many people do, and second-guess all coaches at any level, which people do, and say, well, he should have done this, should have done that. That's true. He will be the coach with the Spurs for a while, period. Go get swept 4-0. It'll be there. Mike Brown, okay, people, I haven't heard a whole lot of people talking heads say, well, Mike Brown's done a great job. One of the things Mike Brown has done in the playoffs is get out of the way.
Yes.
Sometimes in coaching, as a coach, we need to just step back. If things are going okay, going well, I shouldn't say okay, they're going well, get out of the way. You don't have to get in there and take credit for it. Let the players play. Now, he has, like you said, I agree with you. He has done a great job in the idea of substitution. Thibodeau, former coach, didn't believe in subs. He didn't need any players on the bench. He just didn't play them. And you know me as a coach, I've always tried to use the bench because why do you keep players if you're not going to use them? And come playoff time, state championship time, you're going to need bench people. So play them early so they'll be ready later. But he has done a great job. And the Knicks are not loaded with superstars. So give Mike Brown more credit for keeping that group together. Because like I said, the numbers they're showing is unbelievable. And I know I was talking with my neighbor about this the other day. He said, yeah, but the NBA, and ain't like it was with Magic and Bird. I said, no, it's still good basketball. There's still super studs in the NBA. I said, the Knicks, when they got it with the Spurs, and then every round except the first round, I kept picking the Knicks to lose. So now it flipped. I'm going to go to the Knicks are going to win this. It's just a matter of how many games.
Oh, the Knicks fans might hate you. Us Knicks fans might hate you with all of our fibers in our body.
You have no idea why they were named the Knicks to begin with, let alone
yes, I do. The New York Knickerbockers. I'm well aware.
You like the Knicks because they won you some shekels the last couple nights. That's why you got the doggone.
It has nothing to do with shekels. It has to do with my long-suffering fandom. Go New York, go New York, go. We've been suffering for decades, Edward. We've been suffering.
Every time you've gone through New York City, you're under the dashboard hiding because we're going to get shot. Let me get down.
That's not true. Why would you say
You don't know the New York people.
I do.
You know this, and you know about me. I am a quiet Knick fan. You saw my Knick
stop
gear.
It, please. You got Celtics.
My Knick shirt, my Knick jacket. I got all that stuff.
Look at that nonsense.
But everybody knows I'm a Celtic.
Yeah, fan. Tomfoolery. You got Plato up there with an Etch-a-Sketch.
And I was there when they won the title in 73. I think I was in seventh grade.
Yeah.
But I watched it. And I do agree. You did say earlier, Reed is the best Knick of all time.
Frazier.
Yeah. I don't know. Ewing is 3. Brunson
probably is 4 now. Brunson's probably 4.
But in a series, you got a good point on there. Yeah. I like Earl to Pearl.
But nobody should be care about this rankings thing and worry about and I see these graphics now for different things about this is the best whatever for
yes,
all that stuff is unnecessary. Just cut it out. We're gonna come back, take a break. We're gonna talk about the NHL Stanley Cup Finals, even at 1 apiece. Oh, what a great game number 2 it was. As my Carolina Hurricanes. Oh, I'm sorry. The Carolina Hurricanes square things up with the Vegas Golden Knights. I can't say they're my Carolina Hurricanes. That would be a little bit disingenuous. But they're definitely my New York Knicks. Stick around. We got more coming. And you're watching where, Ed?
We're on Cova Sports TV, where you got to like it, you got to share it, and please subscribe it.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that. But it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better. And it's our mission to get you there. Because here, you are more. One Life Fitness.
Portco is your local nonprofit organization dedicated to economic empowerment through employment for people with disabilities. We focus on abilities, not limitations, providing on-the-job vocational support. Find your pathway to employment. Contact us or learn more at portco.org.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
At Rush Soccer, our love of the game and the community we create doesn't stop when we leave the pitch or when the season ends. We are more than an individual player, team, club, or league. We are a truly global community of athletes, parents, coaches, professionals, and fans. We believe that youth sports and the pathway to a lifelong love of soccer have the power to form deep, meaningful connections that will fundamentally shape our players and those in our community. We believe that what we feel is the key to what we can achieve. Feel the pride. Feel the confidence. Feel the legacy. Feel the connection. Feel the trust. Feel the acceptance. Feel the purpose. Feel the difference. Feel the rush.
Ground crew sent me here. It's regular maintenance on the field.
What the hell are you doing?
It's regular maintenance on the field.
What are you doing?
No, it's my job. It's my job. I was scheduled to mow the field at this time.
No, get off the field. Get off the field right now.
I'm just saying it was my job.
No, there is no mowing on an artificial turf field. Get off the field right now.
It looks uneven.
Get off the field.
Can I take my mower?
He's not our kid.
Can I take my mower?
Absolutely not.
Okay. That mower was $10,000 though. Don't damage my mower. It was $10,000.
I've never seen a lawnmower on the field with that turf.
Certainly not on an AstroTurf.
No.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Looking like a Saturday morning with Ed Young chewing some cookies, drinking some OJ, and watching someone mow the artificial turf at a football game as we greet you on this first Saturday of June 2026.
Obviously, that was AI. That cannot be.
No, that was real. I promise you it was not AI. But I tell you what I have been getting on my phone and my messages and my social platforms, I'm sure you are too, are these different AI dancing videos where you can put faces on people and so forth. They want you to download it, and then you got to pay out the wazoo to have the little app. I thought about doing it because I could make some really catchy, creative videos of you, and I could use it against your will and frame you. And you know, I could make life very annoying for you, which I do already do to an extent, but I can make it worse for you. I thought about it, but I said, you know what? I don't want to waste my money doing that too. So, although if we come up with a collection plate, folks, ladies and germs, donation from our loyal audience and viewers, I might get tempted enough to do it. I just might.
Nobody is that stupid to donate to your ridiculous shenanigans.
They love the shenanigans. They do.
Let alone the fool in the pool, which I hope, I heard a rumor that better not be real, might make an appearance in today's show because it's going to be 94 degrees today. I hope not. Because I do have attorneys looking into this whole situation one more time.
You said me in the pool today? No, I actually am going to be at NSU team camp today. And then I have a graduation to attend for one of the children's. No, now he's no longer a little tyke. Tomorrow in the Williamsburg, coming up on Sunday. But yeah, we were going to have on the program, but he's at the Belmont today. Peter Vesey. You remember Peter Vesey, right? Longtime NBC, NBA analyst.
Big time. No, he's a big time.
He's one of the very best to cover it. But he's at the Belmont today, so we're going to try to get him on another time. We've also reached out to a couple of people, but we will have coming up around, I think, 10:45 is what we scheduled him for. James Clark of 757 Soccer Chat. Get us caught up on all that's happening in the postseason in the soccer realm of things for the high school athletes, all the boys and girls teams that are competing for a chance to play and win a state championship when it comes to all the different classifications for girls and boys soccer. You can follow his work on 757 Soccer Chat on Instagram. But Ed, not only NBA Finals, very competitive, double-digit deficits erased, 2 NHL Stanley Cup Final games, and we've seen 2 goal leads vanish between the Vegas Golden Knights, who won game 1 in Carolina. They were cruising to a game 2 win, and then the Canes got it going. They were able to rally thanks to Seth Jarvis. You see on the screen there, Mark Stone had a big goal for Vegas to force the overtime after they blew the lead. The challenge, by the way, I want to get your take as a coach. I love these challenges. We see them in all sports. We see it in Major League Baseball now, the ABS. We see challenges from the dugout. We see it in basketball. They twirl the finger, turn the green light on. We see it in pro football. They throw the hanky. They throw the yellow challenge flag in college football and the NFL. It's always a big deal. Hockey doesn't get documented too much about the challenges, but Vegas coach John Tortorella decided to challenge a goal that they thought should have counted. The referees didn't accept it. And nonetheless, it comes back to bite them because in hockey, when you challenge and you lose like that, it's a penalty. And boom, power play, Carolina scores to take the lead. Of course, Mark Stone had that goal that was really deflected off a Carolina guy's stick to go in. And then another power play in the OT, and Carolina wins it. But you can argue, as great a coach as Torts is, your buddy Torts, I know you guys go way back to your days in the cradle, Torts might have made a mistake there in that spot. What'd you make? Because that was a thrilling hockey game, and playoff hockey, when it's that intense, that competitive and fierce, it can be as good as anything. What'd you make of that, though, as we get ready to shift the scene to game number 3 this weekend, deadlocked at a game even?
Well, first of all, when I heard about if you challenge and lose, it's a penalty.
That's what I just said.
Now, could you imagine that in baseball and football, basketball, if you challenge and, most of the time it's like it's a timeout charged, right, or you lose your ability to challenge.
Well, what would it be in baseball? Would it be a man on base? Because football, you could actually throw a penalty flag, or it could be yardage backwards. Basketball, I guess it would be like a free throws or something. What would it be? Because it's not, you don't have penalties necessarily in the other sports. You do have them in football.
Basketball would be easy. It'd be a technical foul.
Right.
So you can almost put it like hockey does, delay of game. Technical foul. They get to shoot. Football, you lose a timeout or charge a timeout.
Football, it'd be a penalty because you can throw a penalty flag. That's what I'm saying. You can put yardage assessed. Baseball and basketball are different. Different. Yeah.
Same thing, a delay of game. And it's a 10, 15, 5-yard penalty, whatever. You could. But I just think that defeats the purpose of having a challenge.
Do you think, A, he should have done it? B, would you have done it? And C, do you think it cost him the game? What's your view of the whole thing?
I think I would have done it. The thing about with the hockey, and for people who don't, I'm not a major hockey fan, but when I watched that second, the last 3 minutes, and then the whole overtime, I'm into it as much as I did any basketball or football game. And being at some of the Admiral games, and that's not NHL play, hockey is exciting because it's so fast. They don't score a lot, so when they do score, it's really big because you're not getting 105 to 100. Mm-hmm. So it's big. The action is, and to see those guys at that level, and everybody tells me, "Oh, you like the Admiral games? Hell, you need to go to an NHL game, especially a playoff." I'm thinking, can it be that much better? But of course it is. They're the top of the line. But I would have challenged it too. And see, my problem is when you get in front of the goal, and you got the goalie box where he's supposed to be in there. But I always was under the assumption that the opponent cannot be in the goalie box in terms of their skates or whatever. You can have a stick in there because there's so much crap happening there that I'm always thinking is interference. Some kind of interference has to happen. But I've seen players block other players. I've seen goalies' teammates in the box, which they shouldn't be, I don't think, either, because if you're not having the opponent, it should be just the goalie box. Mm-hmm. But I do think it ends up costing them, yes. But I don't chastise them for doing it because, again, I think I would have done it too.
It's a high risk, high reward, right? Because if he gets that goal, they're probably winning. But him not getting it allows them to go on a power play, and thus now it didn't cost them in that moment because they were able to get that Stone goal and they get it to OT. And Vegas missed some chances earlier in the match with their power play opportunities. But it's a fascinating series. I think this one's going to go 6 or 7. The other one looked like it's not probably going to go 6 or 7 unless the Spurs definitely win on Monday night to extend things and guarantee they'll go back to San Antonio. But this series, Freddie Anderson, the goalkeeper for Carolina, was so awesome. And I do think this series, you can talk a little bit more about the competition. I think Vegas has been more battle-tested than Carolina, and it has showed its head early in those games, especially for 3 quarters. But I think Carolina getting that win might have turned things to where now there's a greater belief. They just got to get one in Vegas, and this is going to be a long series. They can't lose them both. Certainly getting game 3 would be the great chance to do it. And then Vegas had one of its key defensemen go down with an injury. So they're getting a little banged up here. they've had some battles here. Getting through Colorado was the surprise, but I think this is pretty evenly matched. I really do. And I think there's going to be at least one more, maybe two more overtime games before it's settled.
I agree. When it started, I picked Carolina in 7. I'm not changing that. It is definitely back and forth in this one. It's no distinct advantages as I think you see with Knicks over Spurs in the NBA right now. These two teams go back and forth, or I would not be surprised we do get more overtime games. They're that close. And both teams are that good. In what little hockey I know, when I'm watching, Vegas is that type of team, when you count them out, they're at their best. And Carolina, they just play so well together. Like, they can pass the puck without looking, and it goes right to where it's supposed to go. Yes. And I'm not saying no other team could do that. I don't watch it enough to say other teams could do it, but I know what I'm saying. And Carolina plays just so well together. But here's Vegas. Not many people had Vegas in the championship this year. Carolina, a lot of people did. A lot of people have Carolina winning it. It was supposed to be probably the Avalanche. But here's Vegas. And the thing about Vegas that gets me is here's a team that's 7, 8 years, 9 years old?
Yeah.
And they've been in the finals, 3? Almost a third of the time of their existence. And that's unheard of expansion teams. Expansion teams usually take in any sport 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, 10 years. Let's see, the 62 Mets, they won it in 69. It took them 7 years. And the first couple of years, the Mets in baseball were atrocious. Mm-hmm. But Vegas has done it the right way, the drafting, the trading, whatever. And now they're legit every year contender.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was getting ready to say right before you said it that I feel like Carolina's passing, particularly seen on the power play here lately, just the way they're moving the puck has been extra impressive. But Vegas they have a resiliency and iron will type about them. But it's so hard to. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend I'm a hockey expert to break down the edges. It feels like this thing can flip flop back and forth. You're going to have momentum swings within games, not from game to game, but within those specific games where a 2-goal lead, which ordinarily can be safe, is not so much safe. And I think these goalies are good, but there's not an intimidation domination factor. Like I said, Anderson's been terrific in the playoffs, but now he's seen a team that has multiple scoring threats from different angles, and they can score in different ways. And Carolina showed, it felt like Carolina, which Brenda Moore has been beaten up, not getting over that conference finals spot as the coach, that they were dead and buried 2-0 with 10 minutes to go. And then after they get the lead, they give it up. And I think in years past, they might have cracked and lost that game in overtime. But you never got a sense when the overtime started that they were in trouble or going to lose. It was like, we've been here before, because I think they're now 7-0 in overtime in the postseason. And Vegas had not lost an overtime game in the playoffs until that game.
Yeah, when you look at numbers like that, you scratch your head. And you mentioned about 2-0 game over, because in hockey, scoring is at a premium. It's just, especially the further you go on in playoffs. The teams are that good that when you're up 2-0, 3-0, it's pretty much game over. And you would think in baseball, 3-0 run, nothing. Basketball, of course, 3-0 means absolutely zero. 3-point lead at any point in the game is 0. And same in football. The team's up a field goal, it's nothing, because the next touchdown, you go up. But in hockey, those goals are at a premium, especially if teams have a goalie. And most of the time when you're deep in the playoffs, you probably have one of the best goalies in the league. You're not going to get that far with Swiss cheese in the goal and people scoring at will. You're not going anywhere near the playoffs. So the further you go, championship series, you probably have the best goalies in the league playing. And I think both teams are showing that. So scoring is at a premium. So when a goal happens, you're like, oh, okay, that's it. We got a goal. And you're thinking, what? You got a lot more time to go. You're going to get goals. Not when you watch hockey. It's hard to do it. And I think the speed of the game is part of that reason.
No question about it. Before we go to break, I think we got James Clark coming up here, 757 Soccer Chat here on Cova Sports TV and 757 Sports Talk. Did you see what came to Harbor Park and has nothing to do with the Norfolk Tides, or have you been kind of left in the dark on this one, Sir Edward?
Nope, I saw it because I'm a glow-in-the-dark type dude. And
you're a glow-in-the-dark type of dude. I might leave that alone because that can lead me down a lot of paths I don't want to go. So I'm going to leave that alone. However, what Ed Young is referring to, ladies and gents, if you were not there, you're unaware, is that Harbor Park played host to something known as cosmic baseball. And they've had multiple sellouts. And look at it right there. There's a picture of the cosmic baseball. It's coming up on Saturday night as well. Lights going out. So more than 24,000 fans. It's similar to banana ball. Variety of innings. And the thing that's interesting is they run the bases clockwise, home to third style. Between inning, they have home run derbies. There's no bunting, no mound visits. Rules constantly change within the game. So if this is your type of game, and I'm just curious, have you gone? Will you go? And what do you make of it?
Never gone, will never go. And
you'll never go? How come?
You have to enter to get tickets. You got to enter a lottery and hope your name is picked. The tickets aren't cheap.
True.
Yeah, yes, it is. That's how they do the attendance. Your name has to get picked. Then you got a chance to win.
Well, hold on. You know I have connections, and I know people that know people that know people. So all you have to do is ask your friend Matt Hatfield, and we can get you in without. You can have a specialized seat. You don't have to do this lottery thing. I don't know where you heard this from.
It is a lottery thing. That's a definite.
I know that, but you know better. I know people and know people.
But your people half the time. I don't know how they operate behind bars, so I can't trust that all the time. Guido and the fellas. But I would love to see it because they do play the game with the lights out. I mean, I've had many players in my coaching career play the game with the lights out in their head, but this is actually the lights are out. That's why they call it cosmic, and it's glow in the dark ball.
You've also had many players hit the threes on you and go lights out, Coach Young, as you like to say.
And think about it, 24,000 people at Harbor Park.
Yeah. Well, it's over 2 nights. Yeah, not just one. 12. It holds like 12,000 plus. Yeah. So I'm doing the math here.
But pretty much every seat is sold.
Yes.
And I'd love to be up close to see how those guys can play in the dark. But again, the ball was lit up and all that. It's just something neat. It's an off take from banana ball out of banana slugs for people to know that is going on. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a couple. Where did I read? I think it's a couple Norfolk State former players.
Yes, that's correct. That is correct. There are a couple of former Norfolk State Spartans, one of which is Alex Mauricio, Brandon Crosby, and Rafi Rodriguez. They played for the Chili Peppers. I don't know if they're red hot like the band, but I also thought the reason you would be a little scared is you were going to tell me Norfolk and in the dark would be worrisome to you. So,
well, no, I'm okay with that because we're inside. Okay. Now, if I haven't been outside,
well, no, Harbor Park is on the outside. You're outside. You're not. Well, we can put you in the press box or the restaurant. What's that?
Yeah, we're enclosed. Yeah, because some of the, and I don't want to give Norfolk a bad.
No, I was being funny. I know.
But Norfolk does have some crazies like any other cities do too. So
yes,
we know it.
Picking on
but
Norfolk.
That's a great event. I'm glad that people are supporting it. And yes, tell your people the next time they come through, I need a ticket. I need a couple.
Oh, next time. So that means he's got plans for Saturday night. So he's unavailable.
Yeah, I'm preoccupied today.
He's preoccupied. Well, you're always preoccupied.
Good OJ.
Yep. Coming up, it's James Clark with 757 Soccer Chat to join us and break down the soccer playoffs. He might hold his feet to the fire and see if he's got some state champion winners for us.
We will. We got it. We got to see who the top player. I wanted to back up real quick. You had your dad on at the beginning of the show.
Yes.
And he was eating some Chicho's pizza.
He was. Would you like to see that again as we go to break?
Well, I want to know did he like it at the end? Did he like the Chicho pizza? Because I haven't had it yet.
Well, listen to what he says. We ask him the question. Watch it again as we go to break, and we'll have James Clark coming back right here on Cova Sports TV, where we have great partners like One Life Fitness and Town Bank, and of course, Chicho's Pizza, who you'll hear from as well. Stay tuned. All right, here with the infamous DJ Hat, watching his Spurs and Knicks tussle in the NBA Finals. How is that Chicho's Pizza you got right there?
Delicious, always delicious.
How about Tony Brothers is officiating right now?
Right now, it's okay as long as the Spurs win.
Okay, you heard it, folks. There it is from DJ Hat, checking his messages.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton Roads and a whole team of experts here to keep your favorite player at the top of their game. CHKD Sports Medicine. Learn more at chkd.org or call the CHKD Sports Injury Hotline.
Kova Painting. We don't just paint, we transform spaces. Visit kovapainting.com or call 757-550-7357 and mention the Sportsplex for 10% off of projects over $1,000.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever! The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Bacon cheeseburger for a limited time, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. Yeah, this is not the time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. And there's bacon on that burger. The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Now, for a limited time on the $7 Meal Deal lineup. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
What does happiness mean to you?
Being in the ocean with you, watching you catch super fun waves.
In Virginia Beach, happiness is breaking barriers and savoring the sunshine.
I couldn't pick a better place or a better person to be with. This is what makes me happy. Happiness is going all out.
And taking it all in.
Here, happiness is whatever you make it. Find yours in Virginia Beach.
I grew up here. I know this town. I know the people here. More important, they know me. As a banker at Town Bank, we become part of the communities we serve. The people who bank with us, our members, know us. When you bank with Town Bank, you'll know your banker. You'll know you can reach us, and you'll know we're here for you.
James Catato.
And now back to Matthew Hatfield and the evil basketball coach. Blast you, Ed Young!
And welcome back to 757 Sports Talk on Kova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. With the Coach Ed Young, I am Matthew Hatfield. We have a special guest with us. He is from 757 Soccer Chat, which you can find on Instagram. And check out his work on social media platforms. Shares tons of photos, videos, all kinds of rankings and soccer content for all of you. Our pal James Clark with us. James, thanks for stopping by. How's the summer treating you so far as we've gone from spring and turned the calendar from May to June? And it's your time of the year here with the soccer postseason.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's treating me well so far. Portsmouth actually just got out of school last week, so I've actually spent this first week of June just kind of relaxing, hanging around, and enjoying the decent weather up until, I guess, yesterday. It got disgustingly hot just in time for sand soccer down at the ocean front.
Yeah, that is definitely the case there. Now, you have to help me fill in some of these brackets. I've been checking the VHSL site and looking at them. On the boys' side, and tell me if I'm missing anybody, you'll have to help me out with the girls a little bit more, as I've only got a few of the teams. Looks like we've got left from the 757 in Class 5, Kickinton and Menchel from the Peninsula. I believe it's Hickory and Kellam. And 4, we've got Lafayette and Jamestown from the Bay Rivers. 3, we've got Tab and New Kent from the Bay Rivers. And 2, we've got Bruton from the Bay Rivers. But before we even tackle the girls and go further, a lot of Bay Rivers schools, a couple of Peninsula schools, only a couple of Southside schools, which you have to get from Region 5A. I mean, those are a couple of soccer powers there, so I don't want to disparage them or knock them or feel like I'm putting them in a box here. But would you chalk it up to more of the strength of soccer? We know the beach has got its history, the Southeastern too, but the Peninsula and Bay Rivers has improved some, or it's come back to the pack. How would you kind of assess the scene before we even get to the teams and the matchups and so on and so forth and the key players?
It's more to do with how the regions are set up than anything else. Class 3 and Class 4 are pretty much dominated by Bay Rivers. And then Class 5B is half peninsula teams. So you're going to get the disparity just because there's a lot more places for a lot of the better teams to go. Whereas if you look at Class 5A, it's pretty much every beach team except for Lansdowne and 4 Southeastern District teams. And 14 teams fighting for 2 state spots is a lot of teams from the 757, specifically from Southside, that are just never going to make it in. So I was going to actually talk about that is the fact that, yes, we have Kellam and Hickory, who are the 2 best teams for boys in 5A that made the state tournament, but we're also missing former champions like Cox and Princess Anne. We're missing perennial contender Great Bridge and First Colonial. We're missing out on Ocean Lakes. So you're not getting all of those teams that you see coming down the stretch all the time into the playoffs or into the state playoffs, because there's only so many spots for those teams to take up. And once they're taken up, well, you're kind of at the mercy of how the brackets fall at that point.
Sure. And then going to the girls real quick before I let my partner jump in here. I know he's going to look at the schools that have a chance to win both or get both teams to the final. I already see his head nodding over there. But 6, I think you got girls, Grassfield. 5, it looks like, and help me out here, I know you got Kellam and Kempsville. I might be missing a couple more teams.
Menchville and Nansman River on the 5B side.
5B, okay, good to know. Menchville and Nansman. And then 4, you got Jamestown, War Hill. 3, Tab, New Kent, and Bruce 2. Is that right?
Yep. And then don't forget, too, for Class 1 for the boys, we got Northampton. We claim them technically. And then for Class 6, Grassfield. We finally have a Class 6 boys contender for the first time, I think, in like 5 years.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's a mix all over the place, and honestly, we've got 11 boys contenders, we've got 10 girls contenders. It's going to be. There are certain teams that I expect to do well. There are certain teams that I expect to kind of bow out early, unfortunately. But this year is going to be, especially because of the reclassification. There was a lot of shuffling from Class 5 to Class 6, Class 5 to Class 4. A lot of these teams that especially our Class 5 and Class 6 teams are going to face, they're from different places in the world or different places in the state that normally they would never see these teams. I believe in Class 6, if the girls can get past Lake Braddock, they'll probably play Independence, who has been a Class 5 power for the past number of years on the girls' side. They beat Kellam in the final, I believe, last year to win the state title. So the Grassfield girls, if they get past, Lake Braddock, they're going to have a heck of a team on their hands to get to the final. So it's going to be interesting to see how these brackets end up playing out.
And I'm glad you brought up Independence, because I've seen it even in field hockey as well as baseball, and now a spring sport like this in soccer. That's a relatively new school. We talked about it, like Ed earlier, with our hockey segment with the Vegas Knights being relatively new. They're one of those programs on the rise in a lot of different sports, Ed. But we have a bunch of teams, as you heard James say, 11 boys, 10 girls, 757 flavor. A bunch of them, from the Grassfields to the Kellams to the Jamestowns to the Tabs, the New Kents, Brutons, and so on and so forth, that have a chance to both get to the state championship and finals, which I know you love so much over there, Coach.
Yeah, I want to ask James, obviously, as we get him on every year, a couple of different things. Who, in your mindset, is the 757 traditionally stronger in girls soccer, boys soccer? Doesn't matter, equal depending on year? How would you assess? And why?
I'd probably say it's flip-flopped, I guess, the past few years, because if we look, for a time, First Colonial was the team that was getting to the state tournament every year, especially 6, 7, 8 years ago. We heard nothing about the other teams. It was just First Colonial, First Colonial, First Colonial. Now it's been a bit of a mix, especially the boys teams. We've had we've had 4 of the last Class 5 championships have gone to 757 teams, and it's been Cox and PA that have won those. Kellam's gotten to the final twice. It's been a mix strictly because of the youth system that we have here in Hampton Roads, especially with clubs like Beach FC, clubs that are pushing for what is essentially the equivalent of high level AAU tournaments and pumping out players that are incredibly high quality. And then all those kids play together too. So if you look at like this year, the team for Kellam, the boys, and the team for Kellam, the girls, they all play together on the same club teams. They're all constantly hanging out with each other. They've got an incredible team chemistry. They've got an incredible camaraderie between the coaches at the high school level, the coaches at the club level, and then they're all invested in the kids. They're all invested in the work, and they're putting together their best efforts so that when these kids get their opportunities, they can take them. It also helps that Kellam boys, they have, I think, some ridiculous number of seniors, like 15 or 17 seniors on that squad. So it's pushing them into astronomical levels of competency. But having these teams that stay together for a long time on both sides of the school home balance, it really helps create some really special teams. And then Hickory's kind of the same way. You know, those guys, they play together, they do the same thing. And then you look at kind of some of the girls teams like Kempsville. Coach Terry, she's kind of built that program from the ground up, and she's had girls come to Kempsville that say, hey, I want to play for you. And she's really built a program in and of herself. And it's a fascinating thing to see of how 757 soccer is going to grow and going to expand over the next few years.
Now, the second thing I want to throw at you is, as Matt was listing all the schools, and you've already brought it up, Bay Rivers. Now, I'm part of the Bay Rivers now, a basketball coach at Smithfield.
Sure.
And Smithfield soccer, boys especially, powerhouse this year. Ended up getting beat, I think, by Lafayette to circumvent their chances to go on to state. Being there, I can see why for Smithfield boys, I'll speak Smithfield boys, they play soccer all the time. And in the fall, because I'm trying to recruit some of the soccer players who are basketball skilled to play basketball, but they won't because I'm being told they play soccer so much and they're always together almost every weekend in the fall. And I'm like, okay, you can still play your soccer, but I need some hoopsters. A couple of you guys can really play. But they're so tied into soccer. But
that happens on the beach too, I think, too. Yeah.
Yeah, and the beach has that same thing. But and it's funny because in Bay Rivers, like in basketball, we are looked about as like the redheaded stepchild. Wait, you can't do nothing in basketball. You're not even that good. Because we're kind of linked with the Peninsula District, who is known for their basketball. But it looks like in soccer, it's completely flipped around. A lot of Bay Rivers, and I remember a couple times looking at the boys' rankings, girls' rankings throughout the season, top 10, and almost every week I was saying to myself, man, that's 7 Bay Rivers. There's 8 Bay Rivers teams, a top 10 consistently weekend. Any particular reason why Bay Rivers, or is it that same idea? Club, and they always play together.
Well, they've also got a fantastic club program up there in that area. It's called it used to be called Legacy. On the girls' side now it's Rain. On the boys' side, I'm forgetting necessarily what it's called, but they have an incredible program up there that's just as quality as what we have down here with Beach FC. And they traditionally a lot of times too, because they are so close to Richmond, a lot of those players will actually play for clubs like Richmond United or other Richmond-based teams as well. And Richmond has a number of quality clubs, quality coaches, quality training. So it's not necessarily not necessarily every player up there is playing for Legacy or playing, coming down to play for Beach, but they are getting quality training and they are getting quality games up with their club level teams. So it creates a dichotomy of good players up there. And then it kind of lends to what you're saying is the Bay Rivers is not known for basketball. It's not known for football unless you're Pocosin and you're sending a recruit off to Clemson because he's a big boy. It's kind of one of those things where soccer is the sport that really propels a lot of these teams. You look at Jamestown; they are constantly in the state championships. Smithfield, like you said, constantly pushing for state championships. Lafayette, depending on which class they are, because it doesn't, you never know the year what Lafayette's going to be, whether they're a 3 or a 4. And then like New Kent or Tab and York, they're both in that similar boat, except they're class 3. New Kent this year, they found the magic in the bottle on both sides of the ball. That first time for the boys and the girls programs to make it to the state tournament. It's kind of one of those things where the Bay Rivers they do their thing when it comes to soccer. They put their teams together, they send them out. And then when they do come down and compete, they're competing on the same level. Kellam played Jamestown and played Lafayette. I know Smithfield played Grassfield. And, we have so many of these teams that are going to that mash up against each other from Bay Rivers, from the district. And then they come down here to the south side and they play our teams, or our teams go up there and play. A lot of our teams go up to play in what's called Keepers Cup every year. That's a showcase put on at the beginning of the high school season. It's a memorial tournament, and it allows a lot of teams from this area to play some of those non-traditional games that they can get to better themselves, see where they stand at the beginning of the year. It's a fantastic region for soccer, and it just so happens that we include them here in the 757, and they do, again, they're spread across Region 2, Region 3, Region 4. Heck, if you look at Bruton, who this is going to be their 3rd year in a row for the boys getting to the state championships, and then the girls are back after a year hiatus. They knocked off the number 1 seed Pocosin en route to getting there. Pocosin is the defending champs from Class 2 last year. So there's a ton of just parity across the Bay Rivers district that pushes those teams into positions to be successful, and they tend to make the best of them.
We're chatting with James Clarkey of 757 Soccer Chat, our guest here on 757 Sports Talk, powered by Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe as we get ready for the state playoffs for all 6 classifications of boys and girls soccer. As James mentioned, 21 teams with 757 ties, 11 on the boys' side, 10 on the girls' side. All right, so do this for me, James, if you can assess it big picture, and you can sprinkle in even some players that have caught your eye throughout the year if you want to give them a shout-out or two that aren't in the state tournament field, if you like, from the 6 classifications down. But take us through, we'll start on the boys' side. Take us through who you expect to win the championship in each of the classes if you want to go that route, or who you think has the best chance involving the 757 teams. Then we'll do it to the girls' side.
All right. So Northampton, obviously perennial contenders. They're up on the Eastern Shore. They're going, I think, for number 4 in 6 years or number 5 in 6 years. They do a fantastic job up there. So they're going to have a tough road in the semi because they're probably going to play Auburn, who is their perennial nemesis. But if they can get past Auburn, more than likely they're going to capture their next title. Bruton's going to have a difficult road throughout the playoffs. They're probably going to end up playing Glenvar, and then they're probably going to end up playing Graham, who are 2 of the best 2A schools on the boys' side. But, it's going to be a well-earned title if they can manage to make it happen. More than likely, New Kent's got to play Brentsville District. Brentsville District is perennial, just a powerhouse. That's going to be a really tough out. Tab's got a little bit easier of a road, but they are playing Meridian, who is another team that actually bumped up from 2 to 3A. and still managed 17 wins on the season already. So Tab's gonna have some work to do getting through. I think we've got a better chance when it comes to the higher classifications. Jamestown's got a good road to repeat. Kellam's got a great opportunity in front of them if they can get past Kickintan. So, the way this year worked is 5A and 5B are going to play each other for Class 5. So Kellam's hosting Kickintan, and then Menchville's hosting Hickory on the 9th. So I think that's Tuesday. So Kellam's got a easy, got a simple path as far as playing Kickintan. Kickintan, they're coming off of 3 straight 1-1 draws that went to penalties.
Really?
In the they played Granby in the first round of the region quarters, tied 1-1, won the penalty shootout. Played Woodside in the region semis, tied 1-1, won in a penalty shootout, and then played Menchville the other night, tied 1-1, ended up losing that penalty shootout. But they apparently, there's a video floating around. You can go on my social, check out my story. There's a video floating around from Menchville of their goalkeeper making a save. Genuinely, the referee told everybody this is the last kick of the game. If Kickintan scores the goal from a penalty kick, they win the game. If Menchville saves it, the game continues on to the next set of overtimes. And goalkeeper makes an incredible double save, dives to his right, ball bounces up, gets headed towards the upper left corner, goes across the goal, pushes it at just and Sports Center couldn't even do it any better. So Menchville's going to take on Hickory. If whichever one of those teams wins, they're going to be playing probably Light Ridge, and Light Ridge is the defending champion. They're the ones who knocked off Kellam last year. Kellam, if they get past Kickintan, or Kickintan, if they get past Kellam, they're going to play Midlothian. Class 5 is going to be tough just because of the quality there. And then Grassfield boys, oh man, they're going to have to probably play Garfield at some point if they get past West Potomac, and neither of those teams are slouches. This is a fantastic year for soccer in the state as a whole. It is not a fantastic year for the way the brackets are set up. It's not a fantastic year for our 757 teams. I'll put it that way. I don't doubt that they can play well. I just don't think that the way things are set up, it's going to be the easiest road. No team has an easy road to a title this year.
Understood. But Ed, on the girls' side, there's a team that's caught our eye all year long, and for the last couple of years in Class 5, they've been pretty dominant, Ed.
Yeah, Kellam High School. They're going for what? Number 3, James? Third championship in a row.
It'll be their 3rd year in a row to make the state final.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be their 2nd overall state championship.
And how do we look on the girls' side?
Let's see. So Bruton's going to have a tough road. They're playing off Central Woodstock to start, and that's a good class team. Tab's going to have a tough road, and I've been ranking them in my top 10, top 15 all year. But Class 3 girls has strongest girl state. They would compete easily with Class 5 and Class 6 teams. And we're talking Cave Spring, we're talking Liberty Christian, we're talking Western Albemarle and Kettle Run. These teams, these are all teams that only have 1 or less losses on the season. So Tab or New Kent making a run in Class 3 is going to be tough. Jamestown has a good setup for the girls in Class 4. War Hill, who is going to have to play Atlee. Atlee is always a tough out in Class 4, so we'll see how those ladies play. Kellam taking on Nansman River, and then Menchville hosting Kempsville on Tuesday on the Class 5 side. I believe that Kellam's got a good chance to advance to the state final, just considering they're either going to have to take on Mills Godwin or Riverside, whereas whoever comes out of Kempsville and Menchville, they're going to have to play Briarwoods or Midlothian. So I think we have a really good chance there, Class 5 girls, of somebody coming away with the state title. Probably not the Warriors of Nansemond River. I hate to say it for the ladies, but they've had a great season. Coach Carl's done a great job his first year. But I think between Kellam Menchville and Kempsville, I think out of one of those three, we've got a good shot. Grassfield ladies, they're gonna have to get past Lake Braddock and then get past Independence to even make the finals. So they've got a very steep uphill climb ahead of them, but we're going to be pulling for them one way or the other.
Good stuff. You can always find his work online on the Instagram page, 757 Soccer Chat. He is James Clark. He'll be keep you up to date on what's happening throughout the state championships. And last thing before I let you go, James, the state championships are where this year for the classifications? It's part of the Jubilee, correct?
Correct. So quarterfinals are hosted at home sites, and then let's see. I actually, off the top of my head, could not tell you where.
No, you're fine.
I'll pull
it up. I'll pull it up as we speak here. I know it's on the VHSL website. I'm pretty sure for the Jubilee.
They hide it somewhere in the
they do have it up there. We'll give it to you here in a second because I know I've got it here. All right, so it looks like the Jubilee sites. If we can, well, it says June 13th is the spot. Now it's just a matter of where they set the Jubilees. Yeah, I don't have that in front of me. Here we go. So it's different for each classification. Looks like for Class 6, the Jubilee schedule is going to be for soccer, boys Briar Woods for the semis, and then the finals at Independence. Girls, the semis at Independence, and the final at Independence. So it's all over the place. But you have to go to the VHSL page and hit the spring tab and then scroll down and look because it changes for each classification. If I spent this entire segment going through each of the 6 classes, it would take us probably 25 minutes. So that's another rant for another time. I'm sure that you and Ed can dive in on with us. But enjoy the games coming up, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, gentlemen. And, don't forget, too, we've got the whole USL2 and USLW season ahead of us for the rest of June and July. Both Lionsbridge and VB United doing fantastic right now. Yeah. And then on the ladies' side, VB United Women and Virginia Atlantic also doing really well. So we got more to come here, hopefully here in the next couple of weeks.
My one final thing is we let James fly out of here. World Cup.
Yeah.
James, who's winning? I know you know everything. I know you know all the pros. Come on now.
I have mapped it out. I've finally done my dues. I have Brazil winning the World Cup this year.
Do you really? Wow.
I do.
James, now be careful what you say because the guy next to me over here, he's writing it down now. He's been known to throw a few shekels down.
No, I'm not putting shekels. I'm just checking to see the latest because I'm.
And if they don't win, he'll come looking for you. He will come. I'm going to bet 25 cents on Brazil, and I won't worry about it. He will knock on your door.
No.
Oh, I know. I have
good value, James. It's not bad. Plus 850, but Spain is 1, France is 2, England is 3. I thought you were going to say Spain though, but I actually think it's a sneaky pick. Brazil 4th. I'm not hating it at all. Not.
I actually because again I literally have gone through every game. I've figured out what I think the score is going to be for every game, mapped it out. I have Brazil winning and beating Japan in the final, and then I have England and Portugal in the 3rd place match.
Okay, good deal. We will save this, and if you're dead on, we'll play it back and make you look like a genius because you probably are when it comes to this stuff. Well, James, always a pleasure, and I look forward to talking again soon. But get you on probably during the World Cup, perhaps.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah,
absolutely, gentlemen. Love to come on for that.
Appreciate it, buddy. See you now.
Thanks, James.
All right, take care.
James Clark of 757 Soccer Chat, our maestro, our inside info guy when it comes to all that right here on Cova Sports TV. Stick around. We got more coming your way. And yes, Woody, D5 and D6 track and field today at Todd Stadium 2. I'll give you a quick rundown on the spring baseball, softball, see if Ed wants to put himself out there on a limb and make some championship picks, hold his feet to the fire. And we got to get Ed's thoughts on a big donation in our state from the Hokies. I mean, a big donation. Big donation. It's all on the way on 757 Sports Talk. Were they watching, Edward?
Right here on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, subscribe.
Did you know that the minimum limits in Virginia are $30,000? $30,000 is a lot of money on an individual basis, but if you're involved in a personal injury matter, that's not enough. Here at Williams Lloyd's, we're happy to provide a consultation on the amount of coverage you have in your vehicle. It can be confusing. Not many people understand it. You know you need to have it, but do you have enough? Give us a call today at 757-547-5555 so we can help you prepare in the case of an automobile accident or any other personal injury matter that you or your family may find yourself in.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why there's CHKD Sports Medicine. Advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Bacon cheeseburger, fries, drink, and a sundae. No time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. Right now at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us. And the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
I'm here with the Oscar Smith backcourt tandem. On the left, we got Kelley King Jr. tonight, 24 points, 6 of 8 from the floor, 9 of 10 from the foul line, 4 assists, 3 boards, and Corrin Buckingham, the PG on the right, 16 points, 5 boards, 5 dimes as they beat Kellam here, 66-51 to win the Spring League here, brought to you by BSN. Let me start with you, Corrin, since you got the mic in your hand. You start out the game with a 3, but 8 minutes ago you had a filthy step-back 3. Which was the better 3 for you, to start the game off or the one that kind of put them at rest?
Put them at rest. I feel like that was the better one. We had the momentum and everything, so yeah.
Been watching for a couple years with Oscar Smith. You were part of the regional championship team a couple years ago when you came in from Tallwood.
Yeah.
What's different about your game now? You watch some older guards like Jacoby Harper, and now you're kind of the lead guy for this team.
Yeah. I feel like I've been around players that's making me better. Older players, I've always been the youngest one on the team, so just being around them helped me be able to get better and know what I need to do and just play at pace. I got to learn how to do that.
And a talented backcourt trio you got with you and Kelley and Rashawn Newsom. Head to Kelley, we're going to talk to him for a second here. Kelley, you came in last year from Great Bridge. You were second team all-region there. You had some 30-point games. Tell me about how you fit in, because you can score at will against people when you get that green light, don't you? Can't you?
Yes, sir. I fit in great right here at Oscar Smith. You know, they brought me in, they welcomed me, and they let me do my thing. So it's been a great fit over here at Oscar Smith.
It's easy for me to ask you guys what's the best part of your own games, but I want you to talk about each other. What's the best part of Corrin's game? Then I'll get him to talk about your game. What do you like about him? What makes him so comfortable? What makes you so comfortable playing with him on the court?
His ability to trust us. You know, I told him early in the game, find me, and he found me, and I hit a 3. You know, that connection that we have, you know, we trust each other on the court. You know, I trust him to bring the ball up. He trusts me to bring the ball up. So it's just that connection that we have.
Sure. Corrin, what about Kelley? What makes him one of the better bucket getters in the 7-5-7?
I really got, just like he said, really trust. I know that's my first option, who I'm looking at. And it's like my duo. So I'm going to make sure he good. Even Rashawn, we're going to make sure he going to get the ball, and everybody just going to play as a team. I feel like, man, we the best backcourt. So I feel like that's just what we is.
this particular championship matchup, I know it's in Kellam's gym and you beat them by 36 the first time back in May, but they hit 10 threes tonight. This wasn't an easy team to play, but you guys made it look easy. How would you able to pull away late? What was the key?
Playing as a team, making sure we stopping their best player because they got some good guys over there as well, D1 guard as well. So we just had to come out here, play hard, and be physical, and just play smart and be disciplined.
Come on for you guys. Kelley, winning a championship in the spring, I know the goal is in the wintertime to win a state championship, but what can this do to help you guys on that path?
Give us motivation. We got young guys coming up from JV, so this will help them build their confidence level. So going into spring or live period during June, we can get us going into the winter so we can win the state championship.
Awesome. All right, last one. It's a fun one here. NBA Finals starting. Who you got, Spurs or Knicks? Both of you guys.
Spurs.
Both are going with the Spurs. Wow.
Hey, the Knicks not bad, though. Yeah.
All right. I hope no Knicks fans are watching this, but that's Kelly King and Corrin Buckingham. They're two playmakers for the Oscar Smith Tigers. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Thanks to Kelly King and Corrin Buckingham. Congrats on winning that championship. They might want to change that pick, though, on Spurs over Knicks because right now it's 2-1. And oh, by the way, how much money would you make if you rolled over $100 on the Knicks every game for 13 consecutive, Edward? You'd be saying I'm a Knicks fan like Matt Hatfield, right?
I'd be saying I'm a Knicks fan like Matt Hatfield.
That's right. How about that? Look at that amount. $181,733.64.
I wonder what at the beginning of the year back in September the bet was or the odds were for the Knicks to win it all if you put down.
It wasn't as high as it was for the Spurs. The Spurs would be, and they still would be, the longest shot to win the championship. But in the playoffs, though, it did. I think the 44-1. I think the Spurs were like at 70-something to 1 at one point. So there you have it. Very, very, very fascinating. Woody wants to know. Woody's asking about Oscar Smith football already here in June. He's ready for the Tigers. If you missed it, Woody, we played it on our TV portion, which you can always find on the YouTube on Cova Sports TV. I think we played it last week too. Lonnie Andrews III, a quarterback of the Tigers. They're looking pretty good. In fact, they've partaken. I haven't been out there yet for 7-on-7. I was out there at Kellam a couple Wednesdays ago, and I'm going to make my rounds back to Kellam or over there where they're playing 7-on-7, which I'll get to in a second, or perhaps Maury's, because 7-on-7 is happening all over the place. In fact, William & Mary's hosting a 7-on-7 tournament this weekend. I know ODU's got one next Saturday when Ed and I perhaps may be up in Northern VA for the VA Live. But Oscar Smith's been doing some 7-on-7 with Booker T. Washington. Mike Privet over there, new coach, former Lake Taylor stud linebacker for Hank Sawyer, and, of course, the deep coordinator for many years for Dream McCain during Maury's championship run. And I hear some buzz, some picking up steam, some excitement for the Bookers over there. So, but, yeah, Oscar Smith's looking strong as usual. As mentioned before, they got to replace some key linemen, and there are some holes to fill. Obviously, you lose Travis Johnson to Michigan's a big deal. But we'll tackle more on the Tigers as we get closer and closer to August as we count it down. I told you, folks like Woody, they love them some high school football. In fact, stick around, Woody, because we're going to talk about some football and one of the best commitments I've ever seen is Ed Young got another one correct. Remember, he got Carter Jones, Picosin to Clemson correct. And, oh, by the way, Carter, I think we lost his X account. We tried to reach out to get Carter on. Now I see it's gone for whatever. I don't know what happened. But so I hope Carter – I know Carter's all right, but – before we do all that, though, we do have to get Ed Young's quick picks on some of these state baseball. I don't have all the brackets to do it, but I'll just read them to you and see what Ed thinks. Last year in baseball, the Classics champion was Gainesville over Battlefield. 8-6 was the final, okay? Gainesville's not back in it, but Battlefield's the region runner-up in B. They're going to Centerville for the quarterfinals coming up on Tuesday. Hatfield hosts Manchester, region runner-up. Independence, who's been a strong team. We talked about them earlier. Independence hosting Herndon. And Western Branch, our man Roland Wright and the Bruins, hosting Edison. Bottom half of the bracket. I like their draw. It's not easy for the Bruins. We've got them some state titles in their history. Last one coming in 2017. They lost the final in 23 to Madison. Lost the final in 19 to Lake Braddock. What do you think? Is it Western Branches? Or are you going to go with Battlefield? Or are you going to go with Hayfield or Centerville? What do you think? I think it's Western Branch's time.
Now, so Independence and Western Branch
would meet
if
in
they
the semi.
both win, they can't meet in the finals. Is that right?
Correct. They meet the semis. And I think your brain is thinking what I'm thinking. That's the championship in the semis,
That's
right?
the championship game.
Yeah.
I want Branch. I want Branch now. I want Roland to take it again. But I'm leaning as I lean Independence.
Okay. We're still waiting to get all the brackets in Class 5, at least through the Max Preps page. I don't see all the C and B brackets filled out, so this is going to make it difficult. But we do have Great Bridge on the top of the bracket as a region champ winning the Region B runner-up, which if I can figure that out while we do this, I'll tell you that. John Champ is the Region D runner-up playing the Region C champ. Matter of fact, some of these games might be today, so that's part of why the bracket could not be filled out. Cox lost to Great Bridge in the region final. I heard it was a doozy of a championship over at Indian River High School the other day. So Cox gets the Region B champ on the road, and the winner of that probably sees Riverbend, the Region D champ, although Riverbend's got to take down the Region C runner-up. So it's a little hard for that to tell you in baseball. We can tell you last year, Ocean Lakes beat Cox in 9 innings. I have a sneaky suspicion, as good as these other teams are, we might get a Cox Great Bridge rematch, which I know you're hoping for, and I could see Cox getting the rematch.
I'm going to concur. Cox Great Bridge rematch. Cox winning it.
Okay. We've got almost all of it filled out for Region 4A. And some of these brackets haven't been filled out, folks. So we apologize if they're not on the VHSL site. I can't give them to you. And I'm not going to sit here and spend hours upon hours trying to figure it out and deduce it. Actually, we can give you the 4 bracket. Jamestown beat Churchland the region championship. The 5 seed took out the 8 seed Gloucester, then beat the 3 seed Churchland. Churchland beat the 3 seed Grafton. They're the 2 seed. So Jamestown and Churchland moved on. So you got Churchland going to Atlee. That's a tall task in a tall order. You got Jefferson Forest hosting Loudoun Valley. You got Jamestown hosting King George, and you got Woodgrove hosting James Wood. So figure out all that, Ed. I can tell you that last year in Class 4, it was Heritage Leesburg beating Woodgrove, but Atlee, which has been in championship games for years and years and years, they won the championship 2 years ago for Cortland. I feel like they're ready to do it again. I don't feel as good about Jamestown and Churchland, unfortunately, as I do our others. So I'm going to say it's Woodgrove, Atlee, and Atlee over Woodgrove. What do you think? Are you more of a Jefferson Forest guy here in this picture?
I was thinking of Jefferson Forest, but I think I'm going to go Woodgrove.
Are you to get back and win it after losing last year?
Yeah, I'm going to go Woodgrove. And then, of course, Atlee that tradition is extremely strong. And Jefferson Forest has another strong tradition. I don't see our 757 people coming out. Hope they do. But I'm going to go Woodgrove.
And much like we had with Tab and Newkin and boys and girls soccer, guess what? Tab and Newkin are your Class 3 Region A representatives on the baseball side of things for the state playoffs. New Kent beat Tab 5-1 in the region championship. New Kent was the 1 seed. Tab was the 2 seed. They remained that for the state tournament. So New Kent is going to host Goochland. Tab is going to go to Kettle Run. But the New Kent Goochland winner sees the winner of Hidden Valley D1, Spotswood C2. Meanwhile, Kettle Run's the B1. Tab is the A2, and the winner there gets the winner of Turner Ashby, the C1, Abingdon, the D2. Last year, Spotswood beat Abingdon 9-5 to win the state championship. So both of those teams are alive. Both of those teams are region runner-ups, though, Ed. What do you think?
I'm going to go a little bit outside the box, put a foot out there, go Turner Ashby.
Well, it's not too outside the box considering that Turner Ashby is the region champion, and they beat the team that won the championship last year in Spotswood. So I think you're on to something there. But I'm going to go with the other team that beat Abingdon. I'm going to go with Hidden Valley to take out the champ and then beat Turner Ashby in the final. So we'll see how that goes. Those are our baseball picks. We will look either really, really bad or really, really good or somewhere in the middle. Next week are the championship games while we'll be on the air, or we might do the show depending on what we got going on next week at a different time. But stay tuned to your local listings and check all those particulars to find out. We will take another timeout. We got Belmont Stakes picks coming up. We did try to reach out to, we've not heard back just yet. We did try to reach to our buddy Daryl Wood, have not heard back. So, anyhow, we will do our Belmont Stakes picks regardless if we do get D Wood on the program before we sign off at high noon or not. Have you done your studying, you done your homework? Okay.
I've looked at the ponies for the Belmont.
You do realize, by the way, that this, in terms of the Belmont today, it's the second time in 4 years that there's no horse running in all three of the Kentucky Derby, Preakness, and Belmont. Does that bother you? It makes me a little upset.
Yeah, being a traditionalist, I miss that. But I'll be honest with you, until they separate these a little bit more, I think this will become a yearly thing. They're not going to race quickly right after the Kentucky Derby. We need more distance in between, a couple of weeks at the very least. I don't know why.
Well, we got a 3-week gap from the Preakness to Belmont, and this is the first time since 1917. 1917. That was before Ed was born, ladies and germs. Because if he was born then, he wouldn't be with us probably. But there's no horse from the Preakness showing up for the Belmont. Not one horse.
That's unheard of. Yeah, 1917.
Yeah, 1917. Yeah.
And you're right. The break from Kentucky to Belmont is greater. So why not? But I think
no. The break from Kentucky to the break from, you talking about from Kentucky to Preakness. What are you talking about? You're confusing me now.
Okay, you just said no horse from the Kentucky Derby is in the Belmont today.
No. I said no horse from the Preakness.
Oh,
That's why you're confusing me. Yeah. From the Preakness. There are horses in the Kentucky Derby, but this is the second time in 4 years that we've had no horse running all three.
And I think that's going to become a regular thing. So
it might, but you're absolutely spot on about the calendar situation. Even though we had 3-week gap from race 2 of the Triple Crown legs, which was the Preakness, and the third one, which is today, the Belmont. So
and that's what we need to do, is have 3 weeks between Derby and Preakness. Why do people won't do this mess? I still haven't figured it out.
Agreed.
Daryl could tell us.
Yeah, and Nick Hahn told us that. He said that's what they got to do. He nailed it. I agree.
Yeah, they're right now. It's not the favorite to move. It's like they're saying everybody else needs to move. No. The Preakness doesn't want to move. Tell them the Derby or Belmont to move, and vice versa with everybody else. So it won't get fixed.
We'll come back. Again, we've got some recruiting chatter for all of you, and wait till you see this video. If you haven't seen it already, I know Ed's seen it, for what his new favorite football player in the state out there in Southwest Virginia did. Wait till you see it. It's all coming up here on 757 Sports Talk and Cova Sports TV. Just a quick timeout. Stick around.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there. Because here, you are more. One Life Fitness.
Portco is your local nonprofit organization dedicated to economic empowerment through employment for people with disabilities. We focus on abilities, not limitations, providing on-the-job vocational support. Find your pathway to employment. Contact us or learn more at portco.org.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk.
Usually it's Hatfield. That's why I try to tell everybody, get on Hatfield. He is the legal scribe, the talking head that knows all this, puts the whammies on. We do things different on this podcast. That's why we're rated number 3 in the state.
You got Play-Doh? Get out of here!
We got people all over the globe watching with us. Sitting in a phone booth with you would be very...
well, no, we got to have your own phone booth. I'm not sitting in no phone booth with you.
It is 757 Saturday Sports Talk here on Cove Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
What's that?
Our music is so bad, I'm still tapped into it.
Why are you saying it's so bad? It can be really, really good even if it's bad. Hey, you know what wasn't bad? But he's a bad dude on that football field. The announcement video for Rye Cove lineman Ethan Lawson. He was down to 2. The Mountaineers of West Virginia and the Hokies of Virginia Tech. And last week, Ed said it would be West Virginia. Here's his video.
What's up, everybody? I'm here to announce I'm committing to West Virginia. Go Mountaineers, baby!
Almost heaven, West Virginia.
I'm sorry. That was so good. I got to see it again. Look at this. Watch.
What's up, everybody? I'm here to announce I'm committing to West Virginia. Go Mountaineers, baby!
Almost heaven, West Virginia.
Oh my goodness.
Now, when I first saw this video, I love when the kiddies do some things that are, kind of neat, different, and, using social media. I get all that. I was stunned after I watched it. What was the idea of the fire? I thought he was going to run in the fire.
I'm here to announce I'm committing to West Virginia.
Kelps is fun.
Go Mountaineers, baby!
What's the significance of the fire?
West Virginia.
I mean, don't you get it? You don't get it? Are you lost? You are, aren't you? I have to find you back home.
The more these kids try to do something different, the more I'm like, yeah, it's time for me to head over the hills because I don't know what these kids are doing. It would have been neat. Okay, he was considered West Virginia, Virginia Tech, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay, have a Virginia Tech shirt on because then the Virginia people were like, yes, I'm glad then he rips his shirt off and he throws it in the fire. I'm going to West Virginia. Okay, I can kind of see what he did there, though he just made all the Virginia Tech and Virginia people mad.
But West Virginia is known for a tradition of burning couches to celebrate major wins.
That's I have never tradition. In my entire life.
Whoa, you mean you haven't? You
ever heard of that? Ever heard of that? Ever? And that was a couch burning.
Yes, that's what a couch was doing. It was burning. And by the way, this video went viral to where it's gotten not hundreds, we're talking thousands, approaching 1 million views. This thing has gone viral nationally. We're not talking about in little Rye Cove out in Clinchport, Virginia, Southwest, little pocket of folks, or across just Southwest VA or Virginia. This has gone nationwide. It's become one of the more shared videos of a college athlete's commitment ever. And he's a good football player, but not a 5-star, not a top 50 recruit. And I think it was definitely outside the box. He thought outside the box for this one. Give him that. Give him credit for that.
Now that I understand this tradition of burning couches is a West Virginia thing.
Yes.
It does make more sense. But then again, this is why I got to have to go on the phone.
Take Me Home, Country Roads playing in the background, right? You caught that, right?
Yeah, I caught that, which is good.
Okay.
My buddy from West Virginia, Reno Leon, the unclaimed governor of West Virginia. I'll have to call him later.
He's the unclaimed governor?
He's the unclaimed governor.
Can he come on the show and can we present him as America's unclaimed governor?
He would be good to come on the show and ask him about this. I bet he doesn't know it. He probably does.
Oh, you got to send him this. He will instantly be Reno's favorite football player. I thought he'd be yours, but he will instantly be his favorite. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stir up trouble. You ready for this? And actually, it's not trouble. I'm gonna start something. You know, these kids can have agents and NIL. I think Reno would be the perfect agent for this kid. Think about it. They could hit the big time. What if he makes the NFL and Reno's like his? This could be a phenomenon. We could start something here. And we'll get small. We'll get a small. By the way, we'll get like 0.2% of what the kid makes and what Reno makes as the agent. But this could be something big. He'd be the perfect guy, the perfect pitch man for Big Ethan Lawson, who again is one heck of a football player, and I'm glad he's getting some national attention and limelight for being very innovative and creative. You tell all your kids in class, you as a teacher, me from time to time as a substitute, to be creative and innovative and think, explore. I thought he was very innovative here.
Now, okay, so the University of West Virginia is known to burn couches.
West Virginia University. Get it right. Go ahead.
West Virginia University is
WVU.
They're known to burn couches for wins or something.
Yes. Look it up. I'm just telling you.
I'm sending this to my buddy right now. He'll probably answer quick. I think he's online.
Okay.
Burning couches. I've never heard of this. It's just another thing that they do in the state of West Virginia that makes me say, huh? Because West Virginia does some very.
You know who else has got what is a big West Virginia is our buddy Mark Fout. We do the broadcast with him every year in FHS. He'll come on in. He's mountaineer. He'll tell you about it, Ed. I mean, listen, I don't know why you're in so shock over this.
Never. I've been living for all these years, never heard of this tradition of burning couches.
Oh my goodness.
Now I've been to some colleges where the fraternities have put the couch on a roof and set the couch on fire, but that's a whole different story there. I don't know what the fraternities are doing, but that's unbelievable. But congrats to the youngster.
It's been called, by the way. In fact, you just do a trending search. It has been called the greatest and most iconic commitment video ever. Now I don't know what other competition it has, but again, this has been all over national websites everywhere, from Yahoo Sports to MSN to you name it. This has become a big deal for Ethan Lawson, who we talked about last week and was not a household name, but just this one little video and him being a pretty darn good football player who's obviously gotten the work done academically and athletically to be in this position to commit to West Virginia over Virginia Tech. And again, Rye Cove, it's a small Class 1 school. You better be special. You're coming out of there to go to Power 4. I think it's pretty neat for him that he thought outside the box.
I'm glad for him. I hope he makes it work. I hope he sticks it out. He's going to be much better when he comes out than when he is going in. There's no question about that. They'll man him up in terms of being a pretty good lineman. And I'm glad that he picked a West Virginia type who right now the stream of things is not, SEC, Big Ten, which seems that anybody and everybody only talks about those schools now. I hated to see him go outside the state, but I thought West Virginia would be a better fit for him.
Yeah. USA Today picked it up. I mean, everybody picked it up. By the way, one little piece of advice to Ethan: you darn better stick to your commitment. Don't decommit and go to Pitt or something now, because then you'll be hated for life. Stick to that commitment.
Somebody will burn a couch. They'll be burning his couch.
Yes, I'm saying you better make sure that oral pledge ends up with you signing on the dotted line here. Well, he picked West Virginia over Virginia Tech. But speaking of the Hokies, they're not totally crying or discouraged or depressed over this, because they just got a $75 million donation, the largest ever. $75 million for Virginia Tech, Edward, most of which is going to go to athletics. James Franklin is probably a happy camper, because this lets him keep up in what is now known as the arms race of intercollegiate athletics and college football recruiting. $75 million made anonymously by a 4-generation Virginia Tech family, including the fundraising portion of the recently approved $229 million investment in athletics over the next 4 years. Wow, 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 wow. What do you have to say about this as James Franklin and the Hokies now get to use some of these funds to enhance the football program and the portfolio? And I would expect some 5 stars in Vodtek's future. They haven't really had the 5 stars. They've had a lot of 4 stars and 3 stars, but they're going to see all kinds of stars with this kind of money, right?
Yes. I would imagine a majority of that money will go to football, and then a good slice will go to basketball, and then the other sports will divvy up the rest. That's kind of how it goes now, because no matter what you want to say, if your football and basketball is not out there in the bright lights, the rest of the sports are going to suffer.
Yeah.
You're not going to see $50 million go to tennis in West Virginia. That's not happening. They're going to get some, but the majority is going to go. I'm wondering who has that kind of money to give up $75 million as a donation and doesn't even want their name out there, which is admirable. But man, where is my Smithfield graduates, generationals, who can give us maybe $75,000 to Smithfield Athletics? Is somebody out there? That's what I'm looking for. And then give me about $70,000 of that for boys basketball, so I can bring in some athletes through the portal. Oh, we don't do that in high school. In the future, that's coming.
Okay. Will you be around for that future is the question.
Yeah.
You said you doubt it?
Somebody donate $75,000 to Smithfield. I believe it when I see it. I'll probably be pushing up daisies by then.
Hokie Ventures, the nonprofit corporation, approved earlier this week a way for Virginia Tech to support revenue generation and strategic investment. So, look, when Virginia Tech was set to hire a new football coach, which they got in the I don't even say in battle, but the guy that got canned at Penn State and didn't win the big games consistently enough for those folks' liking, is now sitting in a position where Virginia Tech expects to be competing for the ACC title sooner than later and to be in the national spotlight, which they've been a couple of times before, most notably when Frank Beamer had Michael Vick as his star attraction at the quarterback position, and they lost that infamous championship game to Peter Warwick-led Florida State. But that was at the turn of the century. It's been a long time. We'll see how they do. And again, in the ACC, it's not as arduous a road as say going through the SEC and Big Ten, but pretty much the only two that kind of stand in your way. I don't even know that Clemson stands in your way anymore, but Miami's the one that stands in your way, right? That's the big one.
Say so. Of course, Virginia wants to have a say in that.
Sure, but they didn't get a $75 million donation. They got a lot of money, but they didn't get a $75 million donation.
Right. Traditionally, in the past, Florida State would be a team you got to worry about. Clemson recently has taken a slight step backwards.
Is he going to be around, by the way, Mike Norvell? That's a good question.
Yeah, that becomes a yearly question for them. Even Sweeney at Clemson now, people are saying maybe it's his time to go seek employment elsewhere. And, he's been a little reluctant to go into the portal, which an old geezer like me, you got to change. You got to change at the time. You got to embrace the portal in college athletics now, or you will be doomed. You're going to have to get in there. And in fact, most schools, football and basketball, especially the men in basketball, that's where they recruit, portal. They don't recruit the high school athlete. So
true.
And they've come out and said it. Rick Pitino's one. He's come out and said it. We don't really go after the portal unless we know. After high school, unless we know we have a shot at a 5-star kid. He just comes right out and says it. Don't make no bone about it. So, and many people are. It's funny. I was looking through the top 20 teams for men's basketball next year, the way too early top 20. And they would list who the teams lost, who's coming back, and then the portal, who they've signed already from the portal. Mm-hmm. And I remember, I'll use Louisville. They lose every returning player but one. They have like 11 guys coming out of the portal. One returning. And they're picked like 9th in the country next year. Now, when you have one returning, everybody says, well, you're growing, give you a couple years. They're already picked ninth because of
win. And by the way, had they gotten Silovich, who Iowa State shooter who went to Kentucky, that ranking of 9 would have been top 3 easily.
Yes, way up. Texas is another one. Texas is another
you're talking about college basketball. College football is right on the corner. I got my Athlon preseason book.
I know. You know what I'm waiting for college football.
And we're going to get Phil on, I'm sure. His magazine comes out a little later because he's waiting for all the portal dust to be settled and finish all the transactions pages. But I got the Athlon the other day, and I want to ask you, where do you think Virginia Tech in the 17-member ACC is predicted to finish by Athlon? The 17-member ACC. I can tell you Stanford is last, Miami is 1. Where do you think they have the Hokies finishing?
13.
You said 13? Mm-hmm. No, that's Duke at 13. They have UVA at 6. They have Virginia Tech at 5 and 30th nationally. And I love the scouting the team section, scouting the Hokies, where they quote an anonymous opposing ACC assistant coach, where he says, quote, "The blueprint that James Franklin has had in his career from Vandy to Penn State translates very well to that league. Virginia Tech should be one of the top 3 programs in the ACC when done right. I'm excited to see what they do because I've got a ton of belief in the recruits they brought in and the infrastructure that's in place for them to be successful. The level of respect that I have for the humbleness and lack of ego that former head coach Brent Pry has to stay on as defensive coordinator is off the charts. I don't think enough can be said about how special and how difficult that kind of move is. Being able to take the head coach duties off his plate again might provide better defensive production." Well, their schedule, if you'd like to hear it, we can see if you have them, how many wins you have them going after a 3-9.
Read me the schedule.
Sure.
And I'm going to tell you
win loss. 3-9, 2-6 in the ACC last year. They open at home against VMI. Gets the OJ folks. He says that's a win. All right. They then host. Be careful in this one because they lost at home to these guys last year, 45-26. And you know who I'm talking about? The Monarchs of Old Dominion University. Come to Blacksburg. It's Franklin against his former pupil, Ricky Ronnie. Number 12. Be there or be square.
I'm going Tech in a close one.
Ooh. All right, ODU fans. All right, James Williams. That was Ed Young, not Matt Hatfield, who said that the Monarchs can't win that game. I made that mistake the first time when ODU pulled the upset with Bobby Water, and they beat them 2 more times since Ricky Ronnie. I ain't going to make that mistake again.
Tech in a close one. I didn't say Old Dominion can't win. He definitely can win.
I'm just saying. All right, so we got 2-0.
Well, you got him? You got Old Dominion beating Tech? You going to say it out loud?
I'm going to wait. It's good OJ. I'm going to wait.
I'm
going to wait. I broadcast games for ODU. I can't make a prediction on that game.
I got you. I don't want to put you in a bad situation.
I can't do it. I broadcast games for ODU. September 19th at Maryland.
Win.
Oh, AJ Risser's listening to you. Don't knock his turtles. His turtles. He says turtle soup. All right. 3-0. How about this? How about at Boston College again, who's picked second to last in the ACC by Athlon? 4-0. So you have them turning the calendar from September to October, undefeated, and they host the Pitt Panthers, who again are picked 7th. It's going to be in Blacksburg. You got 5-0 for Franklin and the boys? You do.
It's at Tech. I'm going to give them the advantage only because it's at Tech. Won't be surprised if Pitt wins.
October 10th at a team that is picked 10th in the ACC, again below Virginia Tech. They go to the West Coast. They're going to the West Coast to try to make this team toast, the Cal Golden Bears.
That should be a win.
So you got them at 6-0.
6-0.
October 17th. Hold on. October 17th, they play the 8th place predicted team, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in Blacksburg. Go ahead, say it. It's a W. It's a W. Look at this schedule, Ed. It's a W.
I'm trying to give them a loss.
By the way, it's a relatively soft schedule, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lucky schedule for them.
Lucky? Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Ask the New York Knicks. Go ahead.
But I'm saying, like, Tech last year had a good year. And if this game was down in Georgia.
You talking about Virginia Tech or Georgia Tech?
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech had a good year last year. They were 9-4, 6-2 in the ACC. Yes, they did have a good year. I think you're talking about Virginia Tech for a second. But go ahead. Yes. Okay. So right now, hold on. You got them at 7-0 out of the chute. Franklin will be in the National Coach of the Year conversation. And guess what's going to happen? He's going to get another $75 million donated if that happens.
No, he's going to go undefeated and go to the bowl and get blasted.
Now, this might be where 7-0 comes to an end. To close out October, a week before Halloween on the 24th, they head down to Clemson.
Clemson in a close one.
Oh, you think it's going to be a game?
Yes.
Then they close out their schedule in November with 4 games. At SMU, host Stanford. At Miami, host the in-state rival UVA, which ended up beating the Hokies last year 27-7, I might add. But what do you think of that? 2 at home, 2 on the road, beginning with at SMU. They host Stanford, who's picked in the basement of the ACC. Go to Miami, host Virginia. It feels like a split, a 2-2 lickety split, right?
I go 1-3.
Oh, really? So you got them fading fast down the stretch.
They beat Stanford, but they lose at SMU. They lose to Hokies. And
you got them losing at home to Virginia.
Yeah, losing to Virginia.
Wow. It's music to the ears of all the Wahoo fans out there. So, do the math. 4, 5, 6, 7-1, 7-2, 8-2, 8-3, 8-4 for the Hokies from 3-9. It's a good year. It's a good year. Even if you
he'll be up for Coach of the Year or definitely one of the most improved. Yeah.
I'll say this though, if he can somehow stretch that to 10-2. 10-2. It's not out of the realm of possibility that they're playing in the ACC championship game, and it's not out of the realm of possibility they're in the college football playoff. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Now,
but they don't have a great matchup on the out of conference that will help strengthen their resume for this particular year. Go ahead.
Now, with that being said, let's flip it. Could they? Because I said there was a couple that I thought they would, edge out the win. Could it go the other way? Realistically,
it would take injuries, a blown lead, an upset. Yes, to answer your question, but I'd say it's doubtful. I think it's more probable it goes closer to the 9-10 win mark than it goes backwards to the 6-5-4 win mark. I think the schedule out of the gate, it's that Old Dominion game is actually a big deal for Virginia Tech, which it didn't used to be. It used to be like, oh, it doesn't matter. But that's a game that it's been a stumbling block for them. Last year, they got off to an 0-3 start, losing to South Carolina, Vandy, and ODU before they won back-to-back games over Wofford and NC State. But it's right before the Maryland trip. You got to get to 2-0 before you can think about a perfect month of September. So that game is actually, believe it or not, it's a pivotal spot for the Hokies. When in years past, we all snickered about it. It's actually an important spot, important game to get off to that good start.
My buddy here from West Virginia, Reno, just finally texts back.
Uh-oh.
He doesn't know as much about the couch story as his daughter. His daughter, of course, teaches at in Winchester, Virginia. We'd have to ask Mia, it's his daughter. He says Franklin will do better than expected. He just couldn't win at Penn State. He thinks they're going, what you just said, 10-2.
There you go. I trust Reno over there. I trust him a lot more
and
than
he said, please get me on the show. I want to expose the real Ed Young. You and him together against me would be humorous.
Be an instant guest. Instant guest. All right, one more segment. We're going to do our Belmont Stakes picks to close out this episode. Win, play, show. It's all coming up here on Cova Sports TV. We'll be back to do that in just a moment. See you then.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there. Because here, you are more. One Life Fitness.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us, and the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
It's 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and the one and only Coach Ed Young, every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on Cova Sports TV. From high school football and basketball to the NFL, MLB, college sports, and the NBA, if it's making headlines, they are breaking it down. Bold takes, big-time guests, and a few laughs, especially at the expense of that basketball coach Ed Young. Catch it on Cox TV and your view, and don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube at Cova Sports TV.
All right, final segment of this episode of 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV with the Coach Ed Young. I am Matthew Hatfield. We thank all of you for tuning in. Before we sign off, Ed, the Belmont Stakes today, you got option of 9 horses to win the whole kit and caboodle. From Vitruvian Man at 30-1, the Power Shift at 12-1, Chief Wallaby, I love me some Chief Wallaby at 3-1, Renegade, the number 4 horse at 2-1, Atino 20-1, Growth Equity 12-1, Commandment 6-1, Emerging Market 6-1, and Golden Tempo 9-2. Remember now, Golden Tempo, that was the horse that won the Kentucky Derby. What do you have for us? Win, play, show. Give it to us, sir.
Give me the Chief.
The Chief Wallaby.
To win it.
Okay.
Renegade. Show. No, I mean place.
A lot of folks like Renegade. I think it's more of a pace-dependent type of horse, but okay, that's a fair pick.
And I'm going to go outside of the box to take the Emerging Market.
Ooh.
Show. And now there's only 4 horses that have 12-1 or longer odds.
Yes.
So my long shot to win it, Growth Equity, 12-1.
Okay. Growth Equity is your long shot.
So we got Wallaby, Renegade. I don't have the numbers. Emerging Market. With my long shot being Growth Equity. Your turn, sir.
I'll give it to you. So that is the number 3 horse. It's on the screen there, folks. He's going 3, 4, not 3, 4, 5, but he's going 3, 4, and 8 in his win, place, show trifecta. I'm not going to do the superfecta today or the exact. I'm going to do the trifecta today. I do not have Chief Wallaby winning as much as I love me some Chief Wallaby. I am going to go with Commandment. Velazquez is the jockey, and I think it will get the job done. So that's going to be my horse to win. I'm going to go, like you, Renegade to place, and then my horse to show will be Golden Tempo. So there you have it. Those are Ed Young's Belmont picks on the screen. Those are my Belmont picks on the screen.
Who's your long shot? 12 or 12-1 or bigger odds?
I mean, Vitruvian Man's the long shot at 30-1, but I don't see this being a long shot race. It's just 9 horses.
I'm saying anybody 12, 10-1 or over.
10-1 or over to win it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it again here close.
I took Growth Equity.
You took Growth Equity. I don't love any of them, but that would be the one. That'd be the one. That would be the one. I
heard some people looking at Power Shift, but
yeah, I don't see that. So again, thank you all for tuning in. That's going to do it for this episode of 757 Sports Talk. and we will catch you next time right here on Cova Sports TV.
Real quick. If
Real quick, hurry up.
To do indoors, let's go. Virginia Championship Wrestling, Norfolk Masonic. Is it Masonic? How do you say it?
Masonic Temple. Is that tonight?
That's tonight. I won't be there, but it's going on.
You won't be there, or you will be there?
No, I won't be there. I was going to change the plans. I think match time is be there by 6 o'clock so you can get a good seat. Some great matches. And we do have Virginia Championship Wrestling. Their WrestleMania is coming up in July. I will be there. That'll be at the Portsmouth Pavilion outside. I will be there because something is going to happen to our friend George Pantis that night. So I'm going to be here to see it.
Okay. We will see you next time. Enjoy your sports weekend, and we'll talk to you later in June right here on Cova Sports TV. Adios, amigos.